the terms are already agreed for the rematch with you know, to move forward, and it's the same as the first contract in that respect. So I think we got it spot on with the numbers.
Chris is a good fighter. You know, all the fighting talk is fighting talk. He's a good fighter. I believe I can fight at 160. You know, if we don't do the rematch, which I'd love to avenge that loss, go back down to welterweight and win the WBC world title.
Conor, Chris delivered. You know, I say this before. I was like, whoever loses this fight is gonna tarnish the dad's name. Nah.
Conor Benn's fiery demand for a rematch with Chris Eubank Jr., made live on television, has sparked intense debate throughout the boxing community. After a controversial loss in their much-hyped showdown, Benn's emotional plea for another fight has reignited tensions between the two British stars. In this article, we'll revisit the build-up, the controversy after the final bell, and what Benn's renewed challenge could mean for their bitter rivalry.
TV powered by Undisputed. Jonathan, we spoke before the fight and you were confident in your man Chris Eubank Jr. here. Tonight he gets the job done. Talk us through how you're feeling.
I feel pretty good. I mean, I thought he fought again. I'm the type of guy, I pay homage to both fighters. I thought they both put their hearts on the line.
Yeah.
I thought they both gave everything they had. And if they could have gave more to the crowd, they would have gave more.
Yeah.
I think the biggest winner was Great Britain. Just my opinion. You got two native people put on a massive performance just for the hometown.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that all the time. That's a rare commodity that you can have.
The feud between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. is deeply personal, rooted in the storied legacies of their famous fathers. Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr., two legends of the ring, clashed in unforgettable battles during the 1990s. Now, their sons have stepped into the spotlight, continuing the saga and capturing the imagination of boxing fans everywhere.
And let me ask you, Nigel, I mean, it's clear that you guys are very, very close.
Yeah.
The reports are that Chris Eubank Sr. isn't quite currently as close with his son as you guys are. How does that make you feel, and why is it important?
Well, I would like to stop you there. First of all, you know, Chris, you know what, he's your son, mate. You know, come be there, mate. This is a family affair, mate. We need you there, mate. You know, we can just catch up on old times. So it'd be good to see you there, mate. Coming back here, son.
Their fight was arranged at a catchweight, a compromise that forced both fighters to step out of their comfort zones. With neither man fighting at his usual weight class, the agreement added an extra layer of unpredictability, as each boxer had to modify training and tactics to meet the unique demands of the matchup.
I looked at Chris Sr. and I said to him, grabbed him by the neck and I said, mate, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you turn up. You know, because outside of everything else, outside of all the noise and the promotion and the fight, your relationship with your dad never goes. That's always there. That's long standing. That's without boxing. You know, what's boxing? You know, what is it? You know, because I'd pick the relationship with my dad over boxing any day of the week. You know, so to see them two, if this has brought them together, God, that's worth its weight in gold.
That's right.
That's worth its weight in gold.
Once the bout began, it quickly became clear that it wouldn't unfold as many had predicted. Controversy flared with questionable judging, disputed decisions and heated exchanges, leaving fans and analysts split. Some argued Eubank Jr. did enough to win, while others passionately believed Benn had been shortchanged.
In the fight of the night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the middleweight contest between these two British middleweights.
112, the winner by unanimous decision, Chris Eubank.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one to swallow, man. Yeah. It's a hard one to swallow. I mean, obviously, I didn't come into the fight thinking it would be that close. I didn't come into the fight to lose. I didn't come in the fight for anything apart from winning. and obviously it weren't good enough. So I need to do better.
The Eubank Jr. versus Benn fight was hailed by commentators as action-packed, highly competitive, and captivating. Both fighters showcased tremendous skill and heart, keeping viewers thoroughly engaged. Yet despite Eubank Jr.'s victory, experts pointed out that it was anything but a straightforward win.
He can walk out there, Conor can walk out there head up high, you know, go home to his family safe and sound. The way he boxed and the way Chris boxed was unbelievable. You know, we were just like, we enjoyed the fight. Do you understand? We enjoyed the fight.
I said it myself just on broadcast just now. Conor made the fight by keeping on coming, Chris gave everything. Chris Sr. turned up on the night. It had everything, didn't it?
Lastminute.com. We call him lastminute.com. He turned up. But all I want to say is, oh my goodness, that was beautiful, man. We enjoyed it. Listen, I was shaking. Not because it was cold here, because the fight was just beautiful. I enjoyed it, and I'm happy to see a rematch.
Great to see you, Derek. Thank you so much. We're all happy to see a rematch. Whether they can go through another one like that.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Chris Eubank Sr. made a dramatic entrance at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on April 26, 2025, attending his son's bout against Conor Benn. His presence carried significant weight, given his earlier vocal opposition to the fight, citing major concerns over the catchweight terms and fighter welfare.
That is really good news. Okay, let's get to the fight itself. I think I just about caught my breath after last night, Michael. I don't know about you, but I mean, first of all, let's start with the Eubank reunion and the fact that Senior walked out with his son Junior to the ring. How real was that, I suppose, animosity between the two in the build-up, and how much did it help him that his dad was there?
Well, Jess, I really do believe it helped him, and it was the best atmosphere in boxing I think I've been to, and there was a lot of emotion around me. I actually felt I had a bit of a lump in my throat. I've got to be completely honest with you, because we know it's been a tough few years for the Eubank family, Senior losing a son, and Chris Eubank Jr. talking about the pain, a real pain is losing family members. And it was a bit like WWE, when the lift opened and you see Chris Eubank Sr.
Surprising everyone, Eubank Sr. arrived midway through the undercard, sparking wild celebrations among the 65,000 fans in attendance. Nigel Benn, also in the arena to support his son, greeted Eubank Sr.'s appearance as a meaningful gesture, signaling a possible thawing of tensions between the two iconic families.
Chris Eubank's here as well. Sir, you turned up to support your son. What a night.
Well, you know, I was always going to be here for my son, irrespective of what you thought. I mean, it's a show. So suspense is part of the game. Now, the performance, championship rounds, standing toe-to-toe, the credit I'm going to give to Conor. I told you he was a superior fighter, but he shouldn't be fighting at 160 or 156. He's a 147 fighter. What couldn't he do around the world? He's been destroyed by the people who are handling him, and they have to be brought to account. Do your job. Do your job. Do your job.
It's great to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Chris Eubank Jr. has long emphasized the importance of having his father ringside, valuing his experience and mentorship. Despite the challenges in their relationship over recent years, Eubank Jr. has often spoken about his desire for his father's support during critical fights, highlighting the emotional significance of family ties in his boxing journey.
If he's watching this, what would you say to him?
I'm here. I'm getting ready for the biggest fight of my life. If you want to be next to me, like his father next to him, we can do it together. If not, no hard feelings. I'll get the job done for you, don't worry about it.
Do you love him, your dad?
He's my old man. It doesn't matter if I don't talk to him until the day I die, I'm always gonna love him. He taught me everything.
During the heated battle, Benn landed a thunderous blow that reportedly fractured Eubank Jr.'s jaw. The fight at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium lived up to the family rivalry's legacy, offering brutal exchanges and moments that left the crowd on its feet.
Let's get more reaction, shall we? And cross live to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where our reporter Michael Bridge is there for us. Good morning to you, Michael. You had an entertaining evening, I bet. But before we get to the boxing, let's just get an update on Chris Eubank Jr. after he was sent to hospital after the fight.
Yeah, very good morning. Yes, I mean, what a fight, what a scrap. We said all week we expected it to be a scrap. Conor Benn said he wanted that to happen, the 18-foot ring. And what a fight. It was absolutely phenomenal evening. Chris Eubank Jr. didn't attend the post-fight press conference. He was sent to hospital. But our understanding is they were precautionary tests, no serious issues, which is great news. I know Conor Benn did mention in his post-fight press conference that he thought he broke Eubank Jr.'s jaw. We don't think that's the case, and we do believe it's just a precaution, which is very good news.
That is really good news. OK, let's get to the fight itself. I think I just about caught my breath after last night, Michael. I don't know about you, but I mean, first of all, let's start with the Eubank reunion and the fact that Senior walked out with his son Junior to the ring. How real was that, I suppose, animosity between the two in the build-up, and how much did it help him that his dad was there?
Well, Jess, I really do believe it helped him, and it was the best atmosphere in boxing I think I've been to, and there was a lot of emotion around me. I actually felt I had a bit of a lump in my throat. I've got to be completely honest with you, because we know it's been a tough few years for the Eubank family. Senior losing a son, and Chris Eubank Jr. talking about the pain, a real pain is losing family members. And it was a bit like WWE.
Although Benn pressed aggressively early on, Eubank Jr.'s veteran savvy allowed him to weather the storm and win by unanimous decision, with all three judges scoring it 116-112. However, serious concerns emerged when Eubank Jr. was rushed to hospital afterward with a suspected broken jaw, as confirmed by his team.
I mean, I wish him well. I know he's gone to the hospital. I've heard he's got a broken jaw, so I wish him a speedy recovery. I also want to thank Senior for turning up, because this really is a family affair, and it wouldn't have been what it was without Senior there. Like, there's respect. Obviously, we've gone 12 rounds together, but he's Chris, isn't he? Like his dad. So I like him as much as I possibly can.
Cheers, Conor.
Given the situation, yeah.
Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn's promoter, was visibly moved following the thrilling contest between Benn and Eubank Jr. Having invested so much into staging this marquee event, Hearn's emotional reaction reflected just how much was at stake personally and professionally.
When he had nothing else in the tank, he just never stopped trying. And, for all the shit that he's been through, and I want you to know that this kid, is a great kid. He's an honest kid. And again, I won't go into the past, but to see now the response of basically him becoming the people's champion. And a lot of people thought he won. Some thought it was a draw. I guess maybe, I don't know if the majority of people thought that Eubank edged it, whatever. Honestly, after what I've seen in there tonight, could not be prouder of that kid. We live for fights like that. And the British public loved his dad because he was just full of heart and full of spirit and a never say die attitude.
The weight difference between Eubank Jr. and Benn was a huge talking point heading into their April 26th clash. Eubank Jr., a seasoned middleweight and former super middleweight, typically campaigns between 160-168 pounds, while Benn had to jump up from his natural welterweight class at 147 pounds to make the fight at 160.
Oh mate, that'd be legendary. That'd be legendary. I'd love that.
We know that your dad has had two very, very famous fights in the 90s with Chris Senior. You're, 3 or 4 weight divisions away from Chris Eubank Jr. at the moment, but you are 19 and you will continue to grow and you will continue to put weight on. What chance of you fighting Chris Eubank Jr. at some point in the future?
Oh mate, that'd be legendary. That'd be legendary. I'd love that. You could, but there's so many obstacles I've got to get first before we can even consider that. Yeah. So far it's just a fantasy for the British public. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
For 8 pounds? You better watch out, dreadlocks. You better watch out. because we are comfy. Sorry. It's my mother's tongue again. It comes through. You'd better watch out because we're not playing. We're real and we are a terror. And the procedure will be parliamentary. Rastafari.
At the weigh-in, Ben came in smoothly at 156.4 pounds. Eubank Jr., however, initially tipped the scales at 160.2 pounds, narrowly missing the limit. Even after re-weighing, he was slightly over at 160.05 pounds, resulting in a hefty $375,000 fine, awarded directly to Ben.
Fight is set at 160 pounds, but neither man can be 170 on fight night. Who's at a disadvantage here? Chris Eubank not being as heavy as he usually is, or Conor Benn coming up 2 weight classes?
Oh, wow. We are going to go.
Okay. Time to jump in the sauna. Now the fun begins.
Both fighters also faced strict rehydration limits before fight night. On the day of the fight, Eubank Jr. weighed 169.4 pounds and Ben 165 pounds, staying within the 170-pound cap. Despite the size disadvantage, Ben put on a brave performance, but Eubank Jr.'s physical advantages and experience ultimately secured him the 116-112 unanimous victory.
Listen, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn was absolutely phenomenal. From start to finish, absolutely phenomenal. The storyline, the drama, the fathers, Senior pulling up at the last minute, the crowd roaring. This is the peak of boxing. This is the peak of sports in general. First of all, hats off to Conor Benn. You cannot show me a tougher fighter. That man moved up weight classes and was taking everything and shaking it off. He was hurt, still swinging. Chris Eubank Jr., great performance. He didn't just box. He didn't just try to, come on, man. He didn't just try to win on the score. He tried to take his head off and he couldn't do it because that dude was that tough. Phenomenal. America, we got to learn something, bro. British boxing at its best. This is legendary, instant classic. I would pay triple to see that rematch. That was phenomenal, man. Amazing. Hats off.